Hey, this is the CND channel. I'm Chris, and this is MMA for you. I'm going to be doing my predictions for Bellator 50, which is going to happen on September 17th on MTV2. The main card mainly is actually just basically consists of the middleweight tournament that's going to happen. And then there's a big undercard. With some advice from one of my commenters, I will start with the main card now and go down to the prelims. Okay, let's go start this off. Let's go with Bryan the Beast Baker versus Jared Hess for the middleweight tournament quarterfinal. I like Bryan Baker. He has some heavy hands. He does have a judo background as well, and of course he has that story of dealing with his illness as well. Jared Hess, he's fought Lombard and did really well. He doesn't stop fighting. I mean, this was a guy that totally dislocated his knee. It separated his whole leg, just almost separated from his body against Shlemenko, and still wanted to fight. This one's kind of tough for me to call. Both these guys have a common opponent and common loss to Alexander Shlemenko. I just kind of have the feeling that Hess is going to be relentless with those takedowns and be able to take down the beast. Not super confident. It's not like Bryan Baker doesn't have takedown defense or anything like that. He most certainly does. And like I said, he has a judo background of his own. I'm going to go with Jared Hess, though, based on superior grappling here. Okay. Next fight after that, we have Alexander Shlemenko versus Zelg Galesic. Zelg, he's fought in Pride. He's actually been fighting for a while. Interesting thing about him, most of his fights are either won or lost in the first round with him. Shlemenko, this guy he's almost 50 fights. He's a 40-7 record. This guy uses spinning back fist. He went 5 rounds with Hector Lombard, and not that entertaining fight, to be honest. He does have a ground game. I've seen him throw triangle chokes and whatnot from his back. Very unorthodox striking. I gotta go with Shlemenko. This is a guy. He's beaten some of the guys that are fighting tonight. He's a game fighter too. This guy, he keeps fighting. I loved his fight against Brett Cooper. The unorthodox striking and just overall skill and experience. Got to give it to Shlemenko here. Okay, next fight after that we have Sam Alvey versus Vitor Vianna. I'm going with Vitor Vianna here. Sam Alvey did beat Carl the Psycho Amasu, which is actually one reason why I'm picking against him, because I'm a fan of Amasu. I can't say I was that impressed with anything in particular that Alvey did against Amasu, though. He has a good record, 8 wins by KO or TKO and 2 submissions, and he's on a 4-fight win streak. And he does have a really hot supermodel girlfriend as well. But, I wasn't impressed with him. In his last fight, I almost felt like that Amasu kind of beat himself in a way. Vitor Vianna, 10-1 fight. He trains with Vanderlei Silva in the One Fight team. And his only loss has been to Thiago Silva. This guy's a very well-balanced fighter. 4 of his wins are by KO or TKO, and then 4 of them are by sub as well. Got to go with Vitor Vianna to win this one. Next fight after that, we have Victor O'Donnell versus Brian Rogers. This one's tough to call. O'Donnell definitely has a really good grappling. He has really good grappling. 8 of his wins are by submission. Brian Rogers, this guy's coming off a 6-fight win streak. He's been knocking people out, winning all of his wins are in the first round, and the only times he's lost are by decision. So this guy's never been finished. One other thing about Victor O'Donnell, when he throws really wide. And I just kind of think that Brian Rogers will be able to get in there and throw one down the pipe if O'Donnell stands and throws his like wide looping punches. Rogers will also use things like flying knees and whatnot as well. So he has a diverse arsenal of strikes. I got to go with Bryan Rogers to win this one. Okay, on to the prelim card. We have Rad Martinez versus Brian Van Hoven. Rad has an awesome story. He's taking care of his father. He seems like a great guy. Got to go with Rad Martinez to win this one. But I also think he's a really good fighter. I mean, Bryan is he's a 37-year-old fighter. He's not exactly in his prime. So, even despite the backstory and whatnot, I'd still pick Rad Martinez to win that one. Next fight after that, Alton Barbosa is going to fight Ryan Keenan. I got Alton Barbosa to win this one. He is a BJJ black belt, and he trains out of American Top Team. He's coming off a 5-fight win streak as well. I see him winning this one. Good chance by sub. Okay, next fight after that, we have John Kelly versus Cristiano Souza. I'll go with the undefeated Cristiano Souza. I notice a lot of these guys on the undercard are training out of American Top Team, and Cristiano Souza is no exception to that. Okay, the next fight after that, it's kind of a pick 'em for me. Shah Babonis versus Marcos Damata. Both these guys are under 30s. Babonis is 32. Damata is 38. Damata actually trains at American Top Team. Total pick 'em fight for me. I'll go with the guy who trains in Top Team. Damata. Okay. Next fight after that, we have Valdir Araujo versus Brett Cooper. Brett Cooper is a late replacement here, actually. But I'm a big fan of Brett Cooper. He trains out of King's MMA. I believe he also trained in the Body Shop as well in LA. He's shown to have really good cardio and just a game fighter. Wants to fight with Shlemenko, man. This guy just keeps going forward. He definitely has a sense of urgency. His striking can get kind of wild, but actually, I remember he fought Steve Carl, and he's pretty relentless too. And I kind of like that. He definitely keeps going forward with his striking and his takedown game. Like I said, his cardio has proven to be pretty good as well. With Araujo, his only losses actually have been to some pretty good fighters, and Chris Weidman, who's one of the hottest prospects in the middleweight division in DFC, and Lucio Lanhara. So he's a pretty good fighter himself. But I have Brett Cooper winning this one. I think his relentlessness will pull him through. Okay, next fight after that, total pick 'em fight for me. Marcelo Goncalves versus Dieter Navarro. Both these guys, Goncalves only has 2 fights. Navarro only has 1 fight under his resume, and he's coming off a loss too, so he's never actually won an MMA fight. I don't know. Navarro trains out of American Top Team, but that doesn't mean much. You just don't know anything about these guys really. I don't know anything about these guys really. I'll just go with Goncalves. Total pick 'em. And finally, there's Martin Brown versus James J.P. Reese. Martin Brown is a late replacement for this fight. He is a 2-0. And James Reese, he's a 4-1. Trains at American Top Team as well. I'll just go with James Reese to win this one. I don't know too much about these guys either, so that's also just kind of a pick 'em for me. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it for my predictions for Bellator 50. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And that's it for MMA for you. Thank you very much.